Tell them on the TAURUS movement.
Yeah, you know how we do. This is Bobby Killer, aka Pablo.
Greetings, this is your boy Famous.
This is Mumra, aka this is the writer.
Representing for SOUNDBOY Station. Alright, big up.
Welcome to the SOUNDBOY Station. Boom.
Them don't get the warning. This is the trend. Now I sat my block and all the whole city wreck. Hypocritical.
At a young age, I was very interested in music. You always used to listen to the radio all the time, especially a show called Casey Kasem's Top 40. When Mumra got a little older, he used to listen to the radio as well. He actually started making tapes and cassettes and stuff like that. And our father had records, so it was a natural progression to get into, you know, sound system and DJing and stuff like that.
Well, what influenced me to get into the sound system was because my background is music. My family had owned a record store. We started off into music. There was a store called Numbers Records and Tape in New York City. There was also one in Trinidad, so you know that influenced me. And I was always into music, working at the store, selling records. Yeah, you know, you name it. We was in a Spanish community, so you know, I was the one that had to be the one to know all the reggae, all the dancehall when they came. That's where you know, the love for the music came. Listening to some of the older songs also, being in New York City, Stone Love, you know, all the older songs. I used to like Black Chiney, Renaissance, you know, not too much into the Clash vibes, but more into the juggling, but that's how Taurus was supposed to be.
I think from a young age I was always interested in music. My brother and I, which is Famous, aka Kaya, he on like, I think it was on a weekend or two show, we always used to, he had a radio and we would go in the gallery and like listen to, I think at that time it was either Tweez or Third Bass. And from that he kind of introduced me to dancehall music, because I was never really exposed to that before, because like my father used to drop me to school and most of the times it was just like pop music I would hear on the radio now. So like all them 70s and 80s tunes, I know them by heart. I never knew about dancehall until like when I was 11, 12, which is around that same era when my brother kind of introduced me to it now. And from there, probably like 2 or 3 years later, he got another radio, and that radio had like a pause, play, and a record button. So what I used to do is I used to like record, like whenever they would play dancehall, I would just record the dancehall songs and stuff. And well, obviously it would have Tweez or whatever talking in between. So after I record that now, I would now go back and take another tape and take out all the talking and like hold long pause when the 8 bar stop, and then when play back the tape with the talking. When the music start back, I would unpause it and I would make like a mixtape with tapes now. It's kind of hard to explain if you don't really understand the essence of mixing and stuff, but that is what I basically used to do. And eventually I went to secondary school and I saw this fat red fella, well not fat, but a chubby red fella, he brought his turntables and thing and he was spinning in school now. So usually when you're spinning, you would need a monitor as a DJ, so you could hear the music. Because if the speaker's too far, you would get feedback, and you know you would need a monitor to mix. And it was amazing to me that the speaker was like 50 meters away, and this fella was mixing every single song in time now. And that fella who we're talking about, his name is Private Ryan. And when I saw Private Ryan, I tell myself, yeah, I wanna be a DJ, and you know. And from there, well, after begging Private Ryan to join his song, which was Detrimental, he braced me. I eventually formed my own sound system. And you know, we started to buy records and that kind of thing. My mom used to help me buy eggs and things to make cake. And from that cake sales and stuff, I used to buy records. And I guess that's how I ended up into the sound system thing. At that time, when as a DJ, you would have to get dub plates. And I mean, at that time, I didn't have the money to get it, but I know that I had the love for it now. And I would always still go to clashes and stuff and hear like Maximilla, Jugglers, or playing dubs. Well, not those songs in particular. Those were the big songs at that point in time. But I would always like go to clashes and hear AMN cutting tune and tell myself, wait boy, why this man didn't cut it with these lyrics or cut it with that lyrics now? And so like, I guess I always had a scrapbook in my head of like certain dubs I always wanted to cut all those years but never had the money to do it. And a few years later, I ended up running into Bobby, one of my partners from Belmont, and he was like, well, Ra, you're interested in starting back the DJ thing? And that was where I was able to start to get the funding to, you know, put the ideas actually into the plate. So
what got me started is the love for it, just the love for it, knowing that I had the potential. At that time when I initially wanted to, I didn't really have the funds. I was a teenager, you know. I was more into other stuff as a teenager. You like the music, but to actually start a song, you know, we all know the sound system world is. You need to have some funds to be able to say something in the sound system world. So when I generated the funds, you know, I was like, you know, it's time. And 2008, it was time. When Taurus was initiated and in our preliminary stages, he was the head mic man, actually more into the juggling aspect of Taurus, because like I said, we wasn't really deemed or wanted to enter the clash realm. We just wanted to be a juggling song. Like I said, we like the Black Chinese, we like the Renaissance, we like the Stone Loves, you know, the more juggling songs. But the way how we used to cut our dubs, I guess we got drawn in and pulled into the clash world. So we didn't have a choice, because you know how it go, you have to defend yourself when somebody tests your song per se, you know. But answering the question again, he was the forefront mic man juggling. I was just doing the clash, so which were, let's say we had 20 juggling dance, he was doing the 20 juggling dance. I was just doing one clash, two clashes. So to answer that question, he was definitely the A1 MC on the sound.
Why doesn't he mic more? Well, that's kind of a funny question, because the last 3 events before this one, he was actually the headlining mic man. So that's a kind of strange question. Maybe the person who asked it was unaware of his appearances, but he actually was on the mic for the Sounded Sunday live, which was on Slam. The one before that, which was Sounded Sunday 8 at Tag Team with Firepower, he was the mic man for that. And we also did a clash in Tobago, a Guinness song feeded. I was the selector and he was the mic man. So he has been present in song clash events.
At Rumble 4, me basically, I prefer just myself and my selector. We see other sounds do it where they have 2, 3, 4. And being that sometimes I counteract songs that have 3, 4, 5 representatives of their song on stage live, I personally just try not to counteract myself or contradict myself by having 3, 4, 5, 6 members. It's not a problem, but that's just how we roll sometimes.
A song basically needs a man to select and want a mic, right? Anybody else who's on the stage, if we see our opponents like jumping up on speaker boxes, doing cartwheels, flips, those kind of things, we would usually make fun of them and call them a cheerleader in an argument, and it would get her forward. So not wanting another song to use that same argument against us, we try to limit the amount of people we have on stage, jumping up, skipping, climbing speaker boxes, doing cartwheels, backflips, and those kind of things.
Personally, I am a MC as well as a DJ. I can do both, right? I also recently I helped produce some writer dubs. Also help a lot with the writing and the creative processing in voice and dubs and stuff like that. So that's my role in the song thus far.
There's also DJ Royal in Miami, writer, singer, MC, and selector. Where we know Mumra, he is main selector, he is producer, writer, the writer, videographer, song editor, engineer. Smooth, aka Kiran, aka Kifi, represents DC/Maryland, selector, MC.
Rue, the man who they say look like Junior Gong, he's an upcoming MC as well. Big up Fats, another MC as well, he could also DJ.
And myself, Bobby, MC, writer, hopefully singer, hopefully selector and engineer soon. So that's basically the roles and functions of all the members.
Well, let me see. You see, the thing about big stages, it could be a little intimidating. I think most of y'all will kind of looking or hoping to see a repeat of the Sunday performance, but when you're working behind the console and your mic, and you have total control and you still have a buffer zone between you and the fans now. But I think you realize that when you actually step out center stage and into the front stage in front of the crowd and all the limelight is on you, you know, you get a bit of a stage fright. So I don't think he was very used to that. He might become a little more used to it now as, you know, the writer songs playing and he had to do a little more performances and getting in front of the crowd and things and booking on that stage fright. But I mean, that's part of the thing. I mean, it's a big song we were clashing, King Addies. I mean, if a man nervous, I mean, you can't really, you know, try that.
In Rumble 4, it was a combination of things. The first being that I was extremely nervous. I guess people may say that I made an appearance in a song that Sunday, and you know, my performance was a complete difference. But that was like a spurty moment thing. This time, I knew that I had to do it like about 3-4 weeks in advance. And I guess all our anticipation was like one of the worst things for me. That day, I just decided about a minute before I went on, this is the song that Sunday are referring to, that, you know, I would go on and try a thing. And it ended up working in my favor. Apart from that, the 5th round, I think I planned a little bit too much, right? I was talking a little bit too much. I was trying for people to go home and say, wait, Mumra was the hardest argument out of everybody, including Caesar and Mike Man. I guess that is what I was trying to do. But I mean, I end up feeling miserably. I mean, it happens to the best of us. Apart from that too, I think I was focusing on what I thought they might say, and I was just like completely ignoring what they were saying. I think if I was a little bit more focused on what they were saying, I could have probably tried to counteract what they said with speech. But when it is I was anticipating what they were going to say and they didn't say any of it, it kind of had me lost because the majority of the things that I wanted to say wouldn't have made any sense. So like I think I had planned to play like about 9 to 10 songs. I ended up having to delete like 7 of them and it just came down to 3 songs. And when it went down to 3 songs, I made up my mind that I would have to talk for the majority of the round, which ended up working against me. So I mean, I think that is a combination of several things that happened to me in that 5th round. But I plan to learn from my mistakes and not repeat them again, and don't worry, I'll be back soon.
In the next 5 years, I think we should really be more than just breaking into the international stage, but even setting the pace, then clashing with the New York songs, clashing with the European songs. I hoping for at least one World Clash appearance.
Taurus Movement in the next 5 years. As a team, we definitely want to be one of the premier sounds in the world. I mean, you don't enter into the sound system business just to be mediocre, just to be a small song for the rest of your life. We just want to be one of the premier songs in the world, whether it's juggling globally, clashing globally, and just for our name to be a household name, and because this is what we love, this is what we enjoy doing, and that's where we see ourselves in 5 years.
I want Taurus to be like the first Trinidad song that is legendary. You know, when you think of Taurus, people should say them fellas, they come in to give you a performance that you never see before. You're gonna hear dubs that you never gonna expect anybody to play. Them fellas is cut on rhythms that nobody would ever think to cut. Them fellas just write lyrics in a way that, you know, you had to think twice when it is you get booked to clash them fellas. It's not really, I can't really quantify, you know, the level of success that I want in the next 5 years, but I mean, I just want everybody who like follow sound system, the sound system industry, to say that Taurus is a heavyweight from all aspects of sound clash.
Evolve, I would say, I just want each member to prosper, not just through Taurus, but in their own aspects. As you can see, Mumra does, he, aka the writer, he's doing his thing, writing his own music, building his own rhythms, making a name for himself. So to me, it's not just about Taurus evolving, it's about every member evolving some way or the other. Taurus, as you should know right now, is a family sound. Everybody on the sound is either family by blood or family from primary school all the way till now. We're not about the hype. We definitely not about the hype.
Taurus basically is not, I would say, is not the regular type of song that you would find any and everywhere. The easiest thing for a song to do is to go and cut the most popular song, the most expensive artist, play it and get her forward. Or hire the hottest MC right now, which might be, let's say, Scorpion, to come and mic for Taurus. But that's not what Taurus is about. We're about trying to build a legacy. We try to make the most out of as little resources as possible. So for example, when all of us now started, we weren't the greatest, but you know, we're trying to bring ourselves up to a certain point where you could see the improvement, and I think it's fair to say that people have been seeing and appreciating the improvement. Same goes with the dubs. When we used to cut dubs, we never really used to go and cut the most popular song, or the most expensive artist. We would try and think of songs that nobody else would cut and rewrite them in a way or put them on a rhythm that would sound real wicked, so that when people come from a clash and hear us play, win, lose or draw, we want people to say, "Way boy, them fellas really come out of the box and really do what we didn't expect them to." And I mean, I could draw a parallel like this too. I mean, if it is you go to a party and you invite Jesus, and Jesus say he go in by the shop there to bring back a bottle of wine, it wouldn't be as impressive as if he went to the shop, buy a case of water, bring it back, and then turn the water into wine.
We believe in sticking together and obtaining our goal as being one of the biggest sounds in the world without just pulling in somebody because of hype, because they are hot right now. We want to make it ourselves that we will be hot and we will be the hottest thing when that time is right.
What we could have done differently? That's a kind of hard question to ask, because there are a lot of components that go into a song clash, right? And what we have to keep in mind is that we're playing for a crowd who's not really, the individuals are not really majority of them being objective. It's really a subjective thing. And when they're clashing a song like the legendary King Addies, a lot of the fans just want to hear those big tunes. And we are not, I can't say we're definitely not at that level, but we're striving to get there. And we just have to do us, be ourselves, and be entertaining. And I think that's what we did to the best of our ability with the resources that we had at the point in time. So I don't really think we could have done anything better. Yeah. Everything is a growing process, a learning process. So, I mean, when the opportunity, or if the opportunity arises again, you could always look forward to a better performance from Taurus.
More practice. I think that to get a better result, we could have done a little bit more practice. Apart from that, as I said as I answered in a previous question, well, I could only speak for myself, but in the 5th round where I was on the mic, I need to stop listening for what I think people would say about me or the song, and listen to what they say and focus on trying to compete against that or counteract those speeches and those tunes. And I guess be a little bit more focused too, because actually in the tune for tune, where the first song that we played back, now I as the selector, I am responsible for playbacks. So anytime a song play, I will delete it from the crates. So if it is I'm going through, I wouldn't play it back by mistake. And when the tune for tune started, Bobby was like, where did JC Lodge? And the fact that it wasn't there, it didn't click to me that I deleted it because it was played already, and I went and searched for the song and play it. So like in an instance like that, I need to be more focused and try not to be too distracted. And I mean, that first song there could have made a big difference, because who knows, we could have been one up instead of one down, and that might have changed the whole outcome of the clash.
What we could have done differently at Rumble for to affect the result, I believe planning a little better from the 4th and 5th round, because to me we really concentrated well on the 1st to 3rd, but the 4th round, like I said in a few other interviews, the set wasn't too good and the echo to the back. So because what we had planned to play, we didn't hear properly. We really didn't want to play back, which we actually did play back one song in tune for tune because of that feedback and the echo on the stage. So it's kind of hard to say what we could have done better, but I think we did the best that we could have, and we represented red, white and black to the fullest. At the end of the day, you can't win them all. You can't win them all. You can't please everybody at the same time, but sometimes you hit them for 6, you hit them out the park, and sometimes you get a duck, which is part of life.
It doesn't matter if I play the dub. Once a dub that I voice flop, I always feel bad, because I mean, I'm not like the typical artist who would just take your money, go in the studio and just voice any old dub, you know, just to take your money and say, you know, I'm making a buck. I always try to put my best foot forward, and I always give the song a dub with the hope that they would get a huge forward. So it doesn't matter if it's me playing it or somebody else. Once they don't get a forward, I always feel like disappointed. Sometimes I even feel to give back the song their money. Well, I'll cut out that part.
I think you might be referring to the new hot artists right now, like Alkaline, Popcorn, Idonia, and so on. But one thing is for sure right now, those artists, they're hot, and just like their careers right now, their dub prices are very hot as well. And sometimes you have to try and focus on what is effective. And I think you all noticed from in the clash that when Addies was playing the Alkaline and Popcorn and stuff, they wasn't getting much forward. So to me, cutting us at a new tune may not really be the most effective way to win a song clash. You have to be very, prudent and mindful about the tunes that you cut. You can't just cut anything that's new and hot right now. You have to kind of look at stuff that's gonna last. And I think we did that with the Mikey Spice that we cut recently. That is a new tune, and we try to build that as an anthem for the song. So
getting dubs is all about cooperation between the artist and the song. Now, if we send money to cut a particular song, or we show interest, we contact the artist and they're not getting back to us, that's not really our fault. As a matter of fact, it isn't. So most of the times, and this is not the first time it happened to us, this is like part of the reason why I became the writer and like started to voice my own dubs, because I have plenty clashes where we in before, and artists just set us up and never made the time to cut a particular dub for us.
The reason being we didn't play any new tunes because we knew Addies had everything locked, 1, and 2, we knew the Clash fans of Trinidad and Tobago, what they like to hear, what gets forward, what doesn't get forward in a clash. And I believe certain new tunes, certain young artists that's coming up, they don't really get the respect on dub that the older heads would get in Trinidad and Tobago. So that being one reason why we didn't play any new tunes.
I think all of us within this song, we love and we listen to a lot of music, and we also listen to a lot of other songs, audio and stuff like that, and we always very critical, and we think outside of the box, and I think Mumra, he always comes out with a lot of ideas on his spurdy moment, just listening to music in parties or whenever the music comes to you, you know. And we always looking to be different. We're not really trying to sound like anybody else but Taurus, you know. So then the next thing is the lyrical content, because if you realize a lot of our tunes are voiced differently lyrically compared to other songs. So a lot of the time we kind of brainstorm and we come together as a group via in person, or if it's over the phone, WhatsApp group chat, and we, you know, put out ideas. So we have a number of talented, so for example, Royal is a songwriter. You know, I sometimes also dabble in writing out some of the dubs and stuff like that. So when we come together and the ideas mesh and the melting pot, you come up with something special most of the time. Alright, people might be wondering where you could see Famous next. Right now you could look into pureTT.net, download the app for Android and iPhone, iOS, right? Just search it, PureTT, or you could go online and check it out. You could also find me during the week between 4 and 7 on pureTT.net. Let me see where else. Anywhere that Taurus is playing, you could find me. If it is you see me alone or you see me working with anybody else, either Mama or Bobby. Even Fats, we look out for Famous and Fats. Right? That is the new big gang out at Taurus. We come with a done everything. Trust me on that. Look out for Famous and Fats. Right? Big up Fats anyway, you start. Right? Yeah, so just, you know, people might also say, hey, Famous, we don't see your thing. Nah, my name is Famous, but I don't run down fame. Right? I just do my thing, enjoy my music. Right? When you see me, know it's me. Right?
Don't pick up taka. Who for son the pata touch him then and the bush about Taurus. Him a black him thinking that coke head a rock cracker. Woman me come here for botama. Ha. You see Batman don't fuck around. Try no mail them underground, me send them. You violate, want your friend them. Bullet, men them from the tall up them when me extend them. Who no like when me talk, suck your mama, your friend them.